today it's just me, Scott, and Rhone with me on Discord because coronavirus is a bitch.
Yeah.
But, you know, today I'm going to keep it simple, given that this is No, it's not the first release of 2021, is it? Because we've had some.
Technically not.
I guess it's the first thing that we record in 2021. Um, you know, so first off, just gonna give it a little bit about what we've been doing over the last month or so, seeing as we haven't seen each other, which is weird when you consider that we're meant to be flatmates. Just what we've been reading, playing, watching, the usual stuff. Shush phone. You can go over there for now.
Yeah.
So yeah, what have you been doing?
I mean, um, anything that is not productive, I guess. Um, I mean, there was a period where I got here and I was like, okay, I'm gonna apply for a job every day, and then lockdown 2 or 3.0 came around, so I was just like, I'm gonna focus on myself
Yeah, I mean
because the jobs that I want.
we
Sorry, go
had
on.
like lockdown 2.5 where it was just the east of the country.
Mm,
Um, and then they realized, hang on a minute, we kind of want to be doing this for the whole country, which was a little bit late, but hey ho. Anyway, go on.
yeah. Um, yeah, the jobs that I want to be applying for are not suited for remote work, so there's pretty much no point in me applying for anything right now. Um, Especially being away from the flat. I don't have my sexy PC that can render out, amazing shit in a
Yeah,
short period of time. Um, I mean, it's not my dream PC, but it's still better than trying to do it off a Mac,
yeah, it does
which is
what
what
you
I'm
need
trying
it
to do
to.
right now. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Um, Besides that, depressing. That's the depressing side, right? Is the
Yeah.
unemployment and the um, being stuck inside without having any kind of life progression.
Mm.
With that, besides that, life's been actually okay. Like, um, managed to get here before Christmas. Um,
Yeah, before Boris Johnson went, no.
yeah, yeah. Before Boris decided, oh wait, let's actually use our brain.
Yeah.
Um, um, yeah. So I spent Christmas. Tried a few bits of new cuisine that I've never tried before. Like, um, Sophie's like in the background. um, Tried oysters for the first time. Tried escargot for the first time. Not quite sure what else I've tried for the first time while I've been here. Um, uh, there's been a couple of other things,
Mm.
like just dish wise, but
Yeah.
as a whole, I think the oysters and the escargot are like the ones that are at the top,
Yeah. Yeah.
and they are like polar opposites to me, right?
Yeah.
Um, I made the mistake when I ate the oyster to not tip out the seawater
Mm.
first, and I just basically tried to drink the oyster with the seawater, and I was like, "Oh shit!" It's like I'm drowning because it tastes like seawater,
Yeah.
um, and that was the worst mistake. Um, Pardon me. Um, I think I might try it again at some point, but it's got a bad reputation in my mouth and in my head right now.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah. It's an interesting thing to try because there was a period in my life when we used to go to France every like year or so at least. Sometimes we'd go once a year for like a couple days. Because for a few years we did this twinning thing where Plymouth, where I'm from, is twinned with a city in France called Brest, and we'd spend a long weekend over with a French family, and they'd come over to England for a weekend and do some fun things as well, and it was
Mm.
quite fun. Especially as at that time I was doing my French GCSE, which meant I was able to get some proper practice in.
Yeah, yeah, it is. I've seen like all the twin towns and stuff all over the place.
Yeah.
So actually getting to see what is the twin of your town is quite interesting.
Mm.
Yeah.
And I remember trying oysters and escargot, and it was interesting. It's an interesting texture, especially
Mm.
oysters. It's yeah.
Yeah, the oysters that we had, the shells were very brittle, so you
Mm.
would get the shell in the oyster, which was off-putting because you have the seawater texture and then you have the grit from the shell.
Yeah.
So that was just bad for me.
Like,
But the escargot though, the
mm.
escargot was fucking brilliant. I'll eat those all day.
Escargot is just tasty. I mean, it's not
Yeah,
mussels.
no,
Mussels are great.
I've
I
not tried
remember.
them yet.
Oh, they're lovely. Might have to, try and call up my dad, see how he made them.
Yeah.
Because we used to go down on the beach, and because it's not like you're taking wildlife, because mussels on the cliffs are everywhere. So just picking like
Mm,
a handful or two for a meal, it's no issue. You know,
mm,
it's like picking daisies; they're fucking everywhere. Um,
yeah.
and we used to have mussels and chips. I remember, I think it was in France that I had it was practically a cauldron of mussels all to myself.
Oof.
And it was just surrounded by chips, and I was just like, I think I was only like 13, 14-ish, and I was like, fucking hell. I was a happy lad that day.
Yeah, I can imagine.
And yeah, I
Do,
do
do
want to
they
have.
uh do they butter them or anything like that?
Yeah. There's like a. Ooh, what are you doing? Just being weird. Um, yeah, I can't remember exactly, but it's like butter, make a bit of seasoning,
Yeah.
cook
Yeah.
them
See
up until
the
they open, and then
yeah the escargot that we had, they prepare it with garlic butter.
yeah,
Um, and man, like you just scoop that out of its shell straight into your mouth, and it the texture is like a mushroom
mm,
to me, and it's a little bit chewy, but when you couple that with the garlic, it just goes down
yeah,
so
it's
easily. And then
it's lovely.
you got all of the garlic butter still in the shell, and you put some bread with that, and you're like, oh, you got garlic bread now.
Yeah,
Like,
literally, like
oh, it's genius. I just wish that they were bigger. I wish I could have a
yeah,
snail like that was like this big.
like a giant fucking African land snail.
Yeah, yeah, man. I don't
But
know what it is, but
mm,
I just love it. I'm assuming other snails would taste different, but
I don't know.
I mean,
Maybe I don't know if it's like a specific type of snail that they use.
I think it is, yeah, but I
Like
could be wrong.
I don't think you're just gonna pick up some random ass snail off the floor and go, yeah,
No.
cook this fucker up.
Yeah. I mean, that's how cavemen would have done it, right?
I mean, that's
Like,
cavemen.
oh,
I think
no, no.
I think the French are a little bit more refined than cavemen,
Oh, yeah, of course, of course.
though they're driving.
Yeah. Um, what else? I've not had much time for video games, sadly, because, not having my gaming PC, just
Yeah,
operating off of a MacBook and a Switch.
yeah.
Um, uh, did obviously start with tabletop sim, and I'm like addicted to that now, just
Mm.
finding loads and loads of stuff.
Can you not?
What am I hearing?
It's like a. Is it an ambulance? Yeah, it's an ambulance just going down the
Right.
Going across a fucking junction.
Yeah, and no one moving out of the way, obviously.
Yeah.
Um,
There's a whole fucking
but
convoy of the cunts. Jesus, I hope. Huh.
maybe there's a. Oh, we'll get to it later, but maybe there's a repeat of America.
Oh, God.
um,
How many ways
um,
can we get this fucking video demonetized? Even if,
yeah,
not that we'll make money off it, but.
yeah. Um, where was I? A
Gaming.
tabletop sim.
Yeah.
I'm fucking. I think I've reached a point now where I'm actually coming away from it to actually do some writing. But I've been on that game for at least a week straight since you bought it for me, and
I'm
I,
surprised
I've
you didn't have it.
yeah, I'm surprised too. I didn't really have an understanding of its its quality before now, but now that I have this hands-on experience with it, I can just go straight into it and start building a map from the ground up,
Yeah.
literally. Um, it's like I'm it's like I'm making my own video game, and that is cool. I love that. Um, but as much as I can set up a map is nothing without a story.
Yeah.
So I've got to do that first.
Yeah, it's like,
Um,
I have this map. What do I do with this map?
yeah, exactly. Like I can put all the models in there, but if it doesn't make sense, then what's the
Yeah,
point?
you're kind of stuck.
um, yeah. Um, besides that, we played a couple like cheap games on the Switch over Christmas. I can't even remember what they were called, but they're just like cheap, like less than £1 games
Oh no.
that look quite. But like that, to be honest, that's a series that I could actually do. Is just like you look at dirt cheap games
Mm.
on like different platforms and then review them, because some of
Yeah.
them are actually better than like the 20 quid games
Yeah,
that you
true.
get.
True.
Um, we played one that was like a detective puzzler type thing about um, I think it's like a folk tale about uh Swan brothers or something.
Hmm.
Um, and basically you have to try and solve a crime or whatever that's going on, and there's like um you know those games where you look for the elements within the picture.
Yeah,
It's
like
got
hidden
that.
object games.
Yeah. um it it was straightforward. The story was all right, like for a quid or however much it was definitely worth it.
Mm.
The same with the other game. I can't remember what it was called either. I think it was called The Last Tree or something.
Hmm.
um but it was the way that it was written and structured didn't make coherent sense by the end of finishing the game. In my
Yeah.
head, at least, I couldn't make sense of it.
Mm.
Um, it was kind of this game that was someone's retelling of the loss of their father or something like that, and they're
Mm.
basically telling it in their own unique way, which is there's this fox and you play this fox, and then there's commentary over the top of it of two characters, and they're having this discussion. Whenever you find like an artifact, it'll give you a new piece of like recording or whatever. But the thing with that is that you can progress, but then miss pieces, or you can find them in different orders, so it doesn't quite make sense.
Hmm.
Um, but it had a little bit of like puzzle solving and atmosphere and stuff like that. I just feel like um, it wasn't linear enough, because they're trying to tell a story, which is a personal one, but then they've made it highly sandboxy, like open world type
Yeah.
thing,
Yeah.
where like you can literally just run anywhere, and
Mm.
then oh look, you found a different artifact, or you've just ignored a whole bunch of artifacts. Um, but it had a nice twist at the end where um, something happens and it kind of changes from being one point of view to another. Um, I don't want to spoil it in case people want to play it, but that was interesting. Um, I'd just say don't get hung up on it. If you're getting it for dirt cheap, just don't get hung up on it.
No.
Um,
It's,
if someone can make sense of it and tell me what the sense was, that'd be fantastic. Because I still don't understand it.
yeah.
Um, besides that, there's no other games that I've been playing besides Magic.
Mm.
Played a bit of Magic.
Yeah.
Looking forward to the release of that on the 5th of February. Um, I'm planning on ordering a couple boxes,
Of course you are.
at least. Yeah. I mean, it's Magic, right?
Yeah.
And it's Vikings.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
Like,
okay, this one time I'm gonna just, invest a bit more and
yeah.
get more for my money, really. Especially not sponsored by Darksphere or anything, but Darksphere is a fucking brilliant retailer.
Mm.
Like they give you like I think it's like up to 30% discount sometimes on
Oh yeah.
certain
Yeah.
things. Um, which is amazing.
Mm.
So I think I can get a a set booster box, which has like 30 booster packs in, and the bundle box, which is the standard one like you've got.
Yeah.
Um, you get that. I can get both of those for the price of less than just the set booster at another retailer.
Mm.
So you basically get a buy one get one free type deal just from buying a Dark
Yeah.
Sphere,
Yeah.
um, which is fucking amazing. Like I'll always support
Mm.
them as like friendly local
Yeah.
nerd traders or whatever.
Yeah. I think
Um,
that's especially given how things are. Even though I was reading an article earlier about how, I mean, yeah, it's Games Workshop who are, fucking enormous. How they've, I think, between May and November last year, their fucking profits are up something like 90%.
oh, Dark Sphere or
Games
Games
Workshop.
Workshop.
Games Workshop. Which is mental.
Wow, so their profits
Mm.
90% upgrade, so nearly twice as many, twice as much profit.
Mm.
That's got to
Which,
be related to eighth edition or whatever it is, right?
I mean, there is that, yeah, but I think it's also I don't think would be too much of a stretch to say that stretches across the tabletop gaming sphere because some of those profits aren't coming from the Games Workshop website. I don't think, and I
Hmm.
think just generally people have been exploring more into this wonderful world that because I think we're not doing anything while lockdown's in effect, and you know, after a while, just watching TV and playing video games is boring.
Exactly,
You know,
right?
and while no, it's hard for most people to get a game together. Being able
Hmm.
to sit down and paint something and do something with your hands
Yeah,
is still great. You know, I mean,
yeah. That's the thing, right? Like being able to actually, like now people have the time. Now people
yeah,
have the actual time to be able to sit and paint all day, and
mm,
like at least like once a day a week or whatever.
yeah,
They now have the time, because even if they're still working and they're working from home, they've got the commute time to
yeah.
take out their days,
That's a good.
which means they can just fit it around that.
Yeah,
It's brilliant.
yeah. It's literally just. I remember. I remember there were times where I'd come into the lounge and you'd have been painting for a good few hours, and you'd be, I'd probably join you for most of the rest of the day, and you'd have been there the whole day,
Yeah.
especially right after Indomitus came out.
Yeah. Fucking keep trying to paint that army like
Yeah.
for a whole week or however long it was, probably a month or two. Still,
On and off,
it's still not
probably.
finished.
No. And then you've got the rest of your army to do.
Yeah.
And it's
Hell.
just like,
Yeah. Yeah. I'm looking forward to getting back to the flat at some point and getting back into painting because I need to catch up on my podcasts.
yeah.
I've got so many podcasts and things that I need to watch, and doing mini painting is pretty much my single most like time to use those.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to get into that, like that physical automated, whatever you want to call it,
Yeah. Back
and
into
just
that
absorb
groove
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have been reading a little bit of it, and I will also support this author to the ends of the earth. Not Tolkien level at all.
Who is? Let's be honest.
Yeah. Not as high quality as a lot of the other authors that you've probably heard of, like Rowling and all that kind of stuff. But this book series is the shit.
Okay.
I think this is the fifth book now. And my friend Ben described it as a nerd's wet dream. And that pretty much sums it up. If you can imagine someone's just written a book based on D&D, and they've made their own world and stuff like that, that's this series right there. The series follows the main character Rhone, who's like this barbarian Fenrisian warrior type guy. Like he's mostly human, but he's got canine features like yellow eyes, fangs. He's a bit hairier in places, and masculinity, like to the point, right?
Mansliders all the way up.
Yeah. Swollen and just fucking drinks beer all the time or ale or whatever. They even give you like a little map as well
Always
of the
love it
world.
when books do that.
Yeah. There's no like pictures or anything, but you don't really need it because he's very descriptive.
Yeah.
And he gives you pronunciation guides and summaries and stuff in the back of the book. Like, I'll just open it here. Ulman, like it tells you Ulman, and then it's like, oh, what is Ulman? He is a royal emissary sent to the something something. I can't read it backwards. Vardan province. But he does that in all of his books. He gives that little breakdown and a map and stuff. Cool. I met him at Comic-Con years ago. Bought one of his books, the first Ruin book. Fell in love with it. Bought all the other books, and then started reading through those. And then this one came out like a year ago or something. I'm not quite sure on the specifics. 2019 it says, so 2 years ago. But yeah, it basically follows the character Ruin through his adventures, and there's he kind of comes across people that he assembles into a party, and they go off on adventures and kill things and do a bit of politics here and there, and then things gradually escalate into like world-threatening level, extinction type shit. And that's where we are right now. Is the entire world is under threat, and people are siding with different allies and stuff like that, and there's clearly going to be some kind of war or whatever. I won't say any more because I don't want to spoil it. I'm sure Mr. Sampson himself, the fucking look at that man. He's fucking beautiful.
That is one hell of a jaw.
Yeah.
That is a jawline and a half.
I'm sure he wouldn't want me to spoil his books because that's not cool. But yeah, I definitely recommend them. There's audiobooks.
Yeah.
Of these. I think he's got comic books for, if not some of, maybe, if not all of, definitely some of the books. Definitely a good read.
Might have to check that out myself, actually.
Yeah, I can't find the first book that I bought from him myself. I've lent it to someone and I've lost it. And he signed it, and I want it back.
Oh.
So if someone has it, please send it back to me because I want it back.
Give him back his baby.
Yeah, it's the thing, right? I've got the entire collection except for the original that I bought.
Yeah.
The most important one. But yeah, good series. I'm aiming to finish this while I'm here. Then, pardon me. After this, I've got the Dune book to read, which is fucking hefty. It's that like 4 times the size of this. It's like this big.
That is a meaty tome.
Yeah. And mainly because Dune, of course, has its original movie and the original book before that, of course. A book, and then like I think it was in the 80s or something, there was a movie.
Yeah.
And now they're doing I think it's a TV show for it that's coming out soon. It's either a TV show or a remake of the movie.
Yeah. There's also an RPG of it.
There is, yeah.
I think Modiphius puts that out.
No idea. But it's a world that I know next to nothing about, besides the fact that I've not even watched the movie, like the original movie. But besides the fact that there's big fucking worms, there's a whole bunch of sand, which is spice, and everyone's like huffing spice or whatever, and there's lasers and shit. I don't know anything about it. I think, is it, what's his name? Who's that actor who's also a musician back in the day? S, starts with S, I'm pretty sure.
Sting,
yes. He's in it, right?
He was in it,
the original movie.
Yeah, I was like, where are you going with this? Oh, yeah, Sting was in the original.
Yeah.
I'm for some reason remembering a weird cod piece.
Yeah.
Though that no, that wasn't Labyrinth. I don't think he wore a weird cod piece in that.
Well, he probably did. But yeah, that was.
I mean, it wasn't Sting in Labyrinth.
David Bowie.
Yeah, but I don't know.
Yeah, Labyrinth is weird. I wouldn't be surprised if there's a cod piece. Yeah, but yeah, the main reason that I'm going to be reading Dune is #spoilers for Terra.
Oh no.
There is a region, like a continent, which is gonna be heavily inspired by Dune. Which I'm not gonna spoil anything else. There's just gonna be a desert with worms and things in. So I want to read some content that might help with the flow of things, the storytelling. besides that, uh, what have I been watching? I guess.
I know you
Um,
mentioned you watched through Clone Wars.
yeah. I was about to say finished Clone Wars, like finished everything, because I had caught up, but then they released that last little season of like 8
Yeah,
episodes or whatever it was, on a 16 or something. But they were shorter, I think.
yeah,
Um, just following Ahsoka's story mainly. Um, and then the uh Rex. I think it was mainly Ahsoka and Rex was that focus, wasn't it?
mm,
In there. Which man, I was about this close away from having like tears running down my fucking cheeks
yeah.
at the end. Beautiful storytelling right there. Um, besides that, been catching up on Star Trek Discovery, um, which is it's decent show to watch on a regular basis. Like I wouldn't want to necessarily binge it, but
Mm,
having it be once a week is enough for me.
yeah.
Um, it's that standard Star Trek recipe.
Mm,
Like at the end of the season, they used one of the old school soundtracks because they're clearly trying to pay homage to like the old seasons.
yeah.
Um, but the biggest thing that I've been watching is Vikings, and finished that in a couple days just because I binged watched it with
Christ, yeah.
Sophie. And
That's on its final season, isn't it?
yes, that is the final season, and it is finished. And I'm glad it's finished because, like, there's they're scraping the bottom of the barrel, like
Mm,
they're chipping into that wood at the bottom of the barrel
yeah,
now. Yeah, that they need to put that show to rest.
yeah. I didn't even know
Um,
it was still going until I think I was watching Jack Ryan a couple weeks ago, and they're like, "Hey, Vikings," and I was like, "That's still going? Shit!"
yeah, yeah, it's still going. Um, fucking amazing show, but I think it's after season 4 it just kind of dips off
Hmm.
a bit because they split season 5 and season 6 into 2 parts, so
Ah,
it's essentially 8 seasons. Um, but the the first episode of the latest season is fucking brilliant, and that I could not have asked for anything better for that episode.
mm,
Um, yeah, the last episode was okay as well, but it's just the fact that they had to tie up loose ends
yeah,
before they could finish the show entirely. So that's what it kind of felt like in the last season was like
yeah,
the whole load of stuff needs to happen, so let's
mm,
kind of cram it in and then expedite it.
yeah, yeah.
Um, but yeah, it was right. Um, I said to Sophie like I wish I had the ability to forget things that I've watched
Mm,
entirely and then
yeah,
just have that same feeling of when I've seen it for the first time.
yeah.
But sadly, that's not a thing.
That's not a thing.
But
No,
yeah,
unfortunately.
I'm moving my camera around a bit
That's all right.
because I've been sat cross-legged and I need to stretch more.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Oh, there goes Boba. Oh, there goes C3PO.
I mean, who
Okay.
cares about C-3PO? Let's be honest.
I know, right? I mean, he's had a replacement leg and a replacement arm, and then they use him and abuse him to translate Sith, and which is like against all of his coding.
Yeah,
So yeah,
like
he's kind of the bitch of the
yeah,
series.
yeah,
um, at least R2D2 gets the love and respect.
yeah.
R2D2.
Everyone loves R2. He's great.
Yeah. Um, I guess you could include. Sorry, just looping back round to what I've been playing,
No, it's
you
cool.
could include RPG stuff. So we've
Oh
been
yeah,
playing
yeah.
D&D.
D&D's been great.
Yeah, for some. Yeah. You and Sam not been faring so well. Uh, and Star Wars, I'm so glad to
Yeah,
be getting back
Star
into
Wars is
Star Wars
great.
RPG.
Yeah.
It's fucking brilliant. I loved doing my Hero Forge the other day, just doing the coloring and stuff. It made her look so much better. Yeah, I'm looking forward to playing that again. That's just, oh, I wish that we could just, I don't know. I wish I could binge D&D and stuff like I could binge a TV show.
Done well like
It's
that.
like, it's like, it's like being able to binge Critical Role. Like you can binge Critical Role as much as you want until you get to the end. Like now, they've not shown anything for a couple of weeks because of holidays and stuff.
Yeah.
But when it's on pause, you're like, I want it back.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I get that. Not addiction, but it's. I guess maybe it is an addiction.
A little bit.
Kind of.
I think it's more the familiarity of it.
Definitely, yeah.
You know, especially with sort of like serialized things like podcasts. You know, it's something that happens every week, and you know that you're gonna do this while you listen to that. You know, it becomes part of your routine.
Yeah. Yeah, I think routine is a very human thing. Well, no, well, it's not human, is it? It's a natural thing.
Yeah.
Like pretty much every single animal has some kind of routine. Whether it's waking up, eating, shitting, pissing, shagging, going back to sleep again.
Yeah.
It's still a routine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Adding hobbies and stuff to that is kind of important for humans. Otherwise, we'd just commit suicide or kill someone.
Like I don't think I could ever fully trust someone who says I don't have a hobby. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, like you don't have a hobby that you're willing to disclose. So what is your hobby?
Yeah.
Your hobby is looking at pictures of things that you should not be looking at, or it's collecting things that you shouldn't be collecting. Or maybe it's just something perverse, like buying dirty underwear from some slut in a different country.
What? Where is this going?
I don't know where it's going. I just know. I know that's a like a thing that happens. It's just weird.
Like, I was more thinking like, there are people who genuinely just don't have much of a hobby, and I'm just like, how? How are you that boring?
I guess they just must work all the time.
Yeah. Which, if that is the case, then that kind of sucks. But at the same time, I couldn't do it.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm still stuck though, because like, how can someone not have a hobby?
Yeah.
Not having a hobby is not having spare time.
Yeah.
Which legally you should be having.
It's like, unless all you do in your spare time is just sit down and watch TV, which I guess is fine, but it gets
still
boring.
A hobby.
I guess, but it's like there's so much out there that you could be doing with your time.
Yeah.
You know? Like even my nan fucking paints, and she's in a fucking old people's home. Christ, I think my nan has more hobbies than my parents do. But then, as we've already said, my parents work, and they do, sit down and watch TV in the evening and stuff like that. But once or twice a week I could do that, but I was like, I need to be doing something with my brain, even if it's replacing sitting down and watching TV with sitting down and playing video games. My brain is still more active than if it was just watching TV.
Yeah. But then sometimes you need the opposite.
Oh yeah. I fully get that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why, like, for me, I have loads of different hobbies. Like, they're not necessarily completely different in vein, but they're different in terms of tempo.
Yeah.
Like, sitting and reading is the lowest tempo that I've got.
Yeah.
Then it's sitting and watching some kind of TV show or something like that. And then I think the next up is painting. Like,
Yeah.
but they hit differently.
Yeah.
Like, it's weird.
Yeah.
And then you've got video games, and sometimes you need a video game that you can just like shout and scream and F and blind at because you need to take out your stress or whatever. But then other times, like, I'm chill today.
You
so
want
I need
something chill. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
Or it'll
go
be like,
fishing in Minecraft or some shit.
I mean, if you're doing that, geez, you must be a loader. I mean, the amounts of stuff that people can do nowadays.
Yeah.
It's like you've got no excuse really to not have a hobby. Yeah, what was I going to say? There's also like the social and then the private side of hobbying as well.
Yeah.
Like,
oh yeah.
Sometimes you can get socially exhausted by playing too much D&D and stuff like that. But then sometimes you get socially needy, I guess, because you just need
I can relate to that.
attention. Yeah.
It's like people.
I mean, yeah, you've been on your own for nearly a month now, so yeah.
So I mean, I remember, like almost this time last year where we would do Star Wars on like a Tuesday, Adventures League on Wednesday, and then Thursday would be fucking your D&D campaign, and Fridays you just wouldn't see me because my brain would just be done. I'm just like, no more people, please.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm like that even after Christmas. Like, most, obviously not this year, but most Christmas, it would be, I'd have like 30, I'd be talking to 30 people across 2 days. And then by the time it was like the day after Boxing Day, I'd be ready to come back to London because it was just you and Sam, maybe Sophie. It was just like, okay, there's enough people in this room that I could actually bear like talking to.
Yeah, you don't have to be dealing with that because when you're in a room full of like 30 people, there's that hum of just chatter, people talking over each other, and then you've got like the energy that's just like bouncing around the room, and sometimes it can get exhausting. Yeah.
Like even doing like D&D with the sort of group size we have, even like at Matt's place, it was very fucking hard for me because my brain was just like, people don't like people.
Yeah, people can be problematic.
Yeah.
I'm sure we can
and I'm just
discuss people
socially
in a
inept
bit.
anyway.
Yeah. I mean, if you say that you're not socially inept in some kind of way, then you're just a cocky piece of shit.
Yeah.
In which case,
That's
you're
true.
more socially inept than the person that admits it.
Yeah, fair.
So yeah, what about you? What you been up to?
Um, just checking how long we've been going. Bits and bobs really. Obviously been playing Cyberpunk,
Hmm.
which oof, that game has been kicking me in the balls emotionally. Um,
All right.
all I'm
No
gonna
spoilers.
no spoilers, but there's not many things that hit close to the bone for me, and just yeah, the game just went. You've only just recovered from this. Now we're gonna give you this, and I was like, oh Christ, no more. Like I haven't touched it in about a week because of that. Like I love the game, but certain side plot points and one of the side missions that actually you can do quite early on in the game, but I just forgot about it and then realized, oh no, I have made a mistake. So yeah, I actually walked away and cried because it was that heavy for me.
Oof. All right.
Like, yeah, which
When I get back to the flat and I've done that quest, you can talk about it with me.
I don't think I
'Cause-
want to talk about it. That's how hard it was.
all right.
It was genuinely. It was well. Both quests were well done and well told, and I
Mm.
think that's why they had the effect on me.
Yeah.
Because all I'm gonna say is it deals with mental health, which, as you know, is a big thing for
Yeah.
me.
Hmm.
And it handled it fairly well. I mean, I think it could have been handled better, but I think how do you deal with such a difficult subject in something that's meant to be a, you know, more uplifting pastime? You know, it's a
Mm.
difficult thing to do in a game, and I think, you know, with what they had, they did well both times. So I just walked away and I haven't touched it since. And I do
Mm.
intend to pick it back up because it's definitely my game of the year for 2020. Despite all the
Wow.
issues people have been saying it's got, and it does have its issues, but I love it.
Hmm.
Uh, you know, it's probably one of the best pieces of genre fiction as far as cyberpunk goes that I've experienced in years. Uh, yeah, it's good. It's good enough. Yeah. I can see why there are people who can get on with it, and having it crash every few minutes for some people, yeah, that's gonna put a damper on things as well. But I haven't had that, weirdly. I've had a couple
Mm.
crashes, which, you know, I don't think there's a fairly new game that hasn't crashed on me a couple times now. Bearing in mind, I play most of my games on a fucking day one Xbox One. And we're getting, you know,
The
getting to
fact
the
that it's even operating nowadays
yeah,
is kind of
yeah,
a blessing.
yeah. It's, you know, I mean, I have to. We've got it in a little cabinet, and I've got to keep it open, else playing something like Modern Warfare or Assassin's Creed Valhalla or Cyberpunk, it will overheat. And it
Mm.
has overheated, and I'm just like, nope, you get to breathe.
Hmm.
I do not need you catching fire.
Yeah.
um, Apart from that, obviously, lots of tabletop stuff. I think I've been reading more tabletop stuff than playing it.
Hmm.
Been reading Blades in the Dark, which I really want to run, especially having seen a few uh, games of it played on the internet now. I'm like, yeah, that's interesting and fun.
Mm.
You know, I need to get through my backlog of games that I've discovered over 2020 and went, I want to try that.
Mm.
Which,
Yeah, I
you
mean,
know,
you've got at least a handful, right?
yeah, Infinity. Um, I've at least played a few games of both Spectre and Zone Alpha now, which is good. It's more than I could say a couple weeks ago. I was just like, you know what,
Yeah.
fuck it, play a solo game, and it's been fun. Interesting rule set. You know, not every day you
Yeah.
find a game that uses D10s for rolling.
Oh,
And it's like, ooh, okay, that's a bit different.
yeah.
Yeah. As far as other books I've been reading, um, not a huge amount because I picked up what's it called both Altered Carbon and the first Expanse book on Audible, and then
Mm.
I got sent them for Christmas. I was like, so I'll probably finish listening to them, and then at some point this year I'll go back and read them.
Yeah,
Which
that's
is
God's law, isn't it?
yeah, yeah. It's nice enough because I think there is something different to having someone tell you the story and then reading it yourself. But it's sort of like
Mm.
I don't read this time of year. I like reading when it's warm. I've got a cider in one hand, the book in the other, and I can sit out till like 8, 9 o'clock, and it's not going to get dark.
Yeah.
I remember
Mm. Yeah.
back home in Plymouth when I still lived with my parents, I would go into town around 11, 12, meet up with a friend or something, and then we'd go our separate ways. I'd head up to the Hoe, lovely little bench that overlooks Plymouth Sound, and I'd sit there from like 4, 5 o'clock until 9, 10 o'clock, just reading,
Mm.
and it was great. I wouldn't get home till 11. It's just like, what you've been doing all day? Reading. It's like, you are fucking boring. Like, Dad would just be like, you're in your fucking 20s. You're meant to be out clubbing. Go get pissed, Or find a fucking bag of cocaine if you want. Just do something fun. I'm like, this was fun. Filling my brain with dumb shit.
Yeah.
But I think that's the relationship me and my dad have.
Mm.
It's just brutal, brutal insults. That people come over and they're like, are you just going to allow him to say that to you? And I'm just like, yeah, I grew up with it. I remember the first fucking time, and I think only time I've been home since I came out early 2020, and yeah, I had all sorts of fucking jokes thrown at me then, and I was just like, there's no like I could speak up and say I'm not okay with this, but I know it wouldn't change shit.
Yeah.
Because he's like I love him, but he's one of those people that does not know when a joke's got old. And I sort of love him even more for it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, just trying to think what else I've been doing. Really, not a huge amount because it's after the first couple weeks, so it's like, okay. So
Yeah.
yeah, life is
the
interesting.
how's the Warhammer army coming along?
Slowly.
Mm.
I did a couple painting streams, which I mean we'll put a link to the Twitch streams in the thingy because yeah, it's slowly but surely coming along.
Mm-hmm.
Need to do a couple more bits, but painting Space Marines is interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, can you shut up? But yeah, I'll probably do a little bit more over the next few days because it is quite nice to just sit down, just paint for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
It's just
Yeah.
you need the right light for it.
Which is very difficult to get in winter, isn't it?
When it gets dark at like 3, 4 o'clock, because what time is it
Yeah.
now?
It's getting dark now. Yeah.
Yeah, it's 4 o'clock, and it's
4 o'clock.
I mean, it's slowly
Yeah.
but surely getting lighter already.
Mhm.
Like, you think this time last month, I think it might have been, darker than this, so it is already slowly but surely getting lighter. Which,
Yeah.
yay! But when your eyesight's shit already, you kind of need all the light you can get.
Mhm.
Uh, but yeah, painting, modeling.
Mhm.
Um, you know, I've got quite a bit of a backlog now
Mhm.
to paint. Especially finally, this fucker arrived.
Oh.
I've been trying to get a hold of this for about 3 weeks now.
Yeah.
This is like sent a bit of money for Christmas. I was like, I know what I'm gonna do. That I've got Zone Alpha, but I don't have anything to stand in as mutants. And I've been using a couple things, but it's sort of like this actually comes with fucking mutants that I can use that look like
Mhm.
mutants.
Mhm.
So I was like, yep, cool. It's another game that I can try and see how it works. And the minis are flimsy as fuck because they're PVC.
Mm.
But I think that's because you got to think that this is going to be in places like Waterstones in game, where a lot of people who are looking at this just see Fallout and they're like, "Fuck it, I'll buy that." You know, never,
Yeah, they're more mainstream.
yeah, never touched a model in their life. So it's like cut out the middleman of having to like resin is a bitch to put together. You
Mhm.
know, it's it's not metal,
Course.
but it's still a bitch.
Yeah. It's a bitch to like keep intact. My first miniature was a resin,
Yeah,
and it didn't last long. Like
no,
it was my Ragnar one. Like the axe head just came off, so I was like, all
yeah,
right, I'm
yeah.
just gonna cut the handles off either end of the axe, so then he just looks like he's got two angry fists.
It's like,
Yeah.
and I think like they could have gone with like standard plastic, like the sort you'd see in most Games Workshop minis or a good number of minis. But I think again that would require assembly, which can be off-putting if you're not
Mhm.
expecting it. Whereas at
Yeah.
least with this, it's just like here you go. It's sort of a go between a board game and a tabletop war game. So it's best of both worlds, which I understand. The minis are nice enough, a little bit soft as far as detail goes, but that's why the rest of the stuff they put out is resin. So it's like, all right, let's take off the fucking training wheels.
Mm.
So paint those up at some point once they've got through everything else.
Mhm.
oh
So have you actually managed to get past the base coating stage yet?
yeah, yeah. Um, I think we're on to Yeah, I think we need to do maybe one or two minis actually base coated, but I think the rest are done. And it's on
Mhm.
to another coat of null oil and then start adding some fun little details. Like
Mhm.
I know I want to give them like red gauntlets and stuff like that.
Mhm.
Um, paint the paint the bone stuff up. Paint Greg and Jeff. Was it Greg and Jeff? I think. Was it Greg and Jeff? I don't
I
fucking
have
know.
no fucking clue.
We're gonna have to go back and watch that.
Yeah.
Greg and Jeff.
We need some nameplates for them.
Greg and Jeff.
Yeah.
I mean, the shield does have that little bit of banner that I could just go. Here lies Jeff? Question mark.
Yeah. Oh, I'm looking forward to getting back into some Warhammer
Yeah.
just slowly.
Mm.
Um, like it might have to be like once every month or once
Yeah.
every 2 months, but it's one of those things that you have to be utterly prepared for that
Yeah.
entire day.
Yeah. I mean, that's
Um,
sort of why I've been diverting onto more skirmish stuff. I think also because I've been in the Warhammer community now for about 15 years, and it's like I do not have the time, the patience, or the skill to be painting 100 little minis.
Mm-hmm.
No. Like, ah. Whereas I love it, but I think I've found that I'm gelling more with most of the universes that are on offer for like skirmish games, and it's cheaper. Not
Yeah.
least because
Yeah.
you don't have to buy a dozen different books.
Well, and it's also like it's less time consuming
Yeah, yeah,
as a whole.
mm,
It's more like you're more able to just dip your toe in and then see how
mm,
it is and
yeah,
whether you like it or not.
yeah. Pretty much. It's like
Whereas Warhammer from day one is like, right, you got to pick an army and you've
yeah,
got to pick like your style of army, and then you have to build it, then you have to paint it, and
mm,
you actually have to play, which can take like a whole day.
yeah,
And then if you actually want to do any kind of content creation with it, well, then you've got a whole other fucking week's
yeah.
worth of stuff to do.
It's yeah. Warhammer. I mean, any tabletop game is a commitment, but I think Warhammer's
Yeah.
just that little bit more, not even more involved. I think it's just there's more of it.
Mm.
Whereas, if say you were gonna look into doing Infinity, it's sort of like you're gonna be doing the same things regardless. It's just the sort of minis, sort of like the amount of minis that came in Indomitus. If you were to translate that into minis for Infinity, that's potentially even 3 different armies you could have. You know,
Mm.
you don't need more than 10, 15. I mean, you can, obviously, if you want, but, you know, it's less space as well.
Yeah.
So
That's my main thing at that moment is
yeah.
space. Like as much as a 3D printer is awesome and it's cool,
Yeah.
it's also like I don't have the space to put all those things that I'm printing.
No.
So like that's why I'm glad I went with like the cheap FDM printer that
Mm.
is not amazing, but it does the job here and there.
Yeah.
Because I'm finding more and more like over the past few months that I'm adapting to digital now,
Mm.
and it's now easier because companies are adapting to a more remote hobby lifestyle. It makes it so much easier. Like Hero Forge allowing you to make tabletop simulator characters,
Yeah.
and then being able to play D&D in it. It's like, well, then I don't need an entire room that's just boxes of minis,
Yeah.
and I don't have to spend hundreds and hundreds of pounds on it.
Mm.
Like it's just so much better
Yeah.
in,
It's like,
in my kind of preference, at least.
yeah. I think there's also the fact that I don't think we're using our hobby space too great. I think
Mm,
what we need is just a stack of boxes
yeah.
rather than just having everything piled into that cupboard that's just it
Mm,
does the job, but it's like it there's just no organization. It's just we'll just put minis here for now.
yeah. I
Whereas,
think
yeah,
I think there is a way to do it, but it's gonna cost us something in order to be able to get some kind of nice unit or cupboard or something like that where we can just put things
fucking
because as much as buying just like a big plastic box and then chucking all those minis in you know does the job, it's also
mm,
like some of those minis, they're not just cheapo minis, so you might
true.
have to keep them separate. Like the Warhammer ones, you don't really want to chuck those in with 3D printed shit
Oh no,
because you're gonna end up chipping them or whatever.
that's where you get
Um,
like just tons and tons of like those little fucking trays you can get from Wilco for like
mm,
you can get a whole fucking stack of those cunts for like 10, 15 quid. You're sorted.
yeah.
You know.
like if I can at some point, I will dedicate like 100 quid towards getting the massive Citadel box. And then I'll probably downcycle so that you can have one of my older ones maybe,
Mm.
because I've got too much shit
Yeah, it's just,
in terms of minis now.
I think that's the problem any fucking miniature collector has. It's like, what do I do with all these minis?
Mm.
Help!
Like, you know the big see-through box that I've got with terrain in?
Yeah, which is
Like,
over here.
yeah, that's at full capacity with
Yeah,
terrain right now.
yeah, and it's
And that
just
was only like a couple months of printing
yeah,
on and off.
yeah, and it's
Now
like
I don't have the capacity to buy, or not buy, but build more terrain.
mm,
And then it's like all this it's just
yeah,
consumes your money, consumes your time, consumes your space, consumes your energy and like thought process and everything else. So that's why like part of me is more like, maybe it's just how do I make that easier for myself?
yeah,
Right. Make fucking Warhammer VR. Just do it already, all right? Because like tabletop sim is VR compatible,
mm,
right? And all you need is a map or a series of maps, terrain pieces, and the models,
mm,
some dice, and the information sheets. In fact, if you're putting it in tabletop sim, you can just script it. Script it so that when something gets hit, it takes damage. When it's down to 0 wounds or whatever, it's off the board. It's fine.
hmm,
And then it doesn't take up all this like time and money and stuff. It just takes up data. That's all it is, just data. And you can come back to it later and you don't have to worry about leaving a table out. I think the most you'd have to spend is about 300, 400 quid on a VR headset and then you're good to
yeah,
go.
oh
Which
yeah,
in all fairness, that amount of money, you're not just getting Warhammer or anything
mm,
else. You're getting a VR headset which you
yeah,
can play anything else on. Like currently in terms of Warhammer, I'm probably looking at that amount of investment already.
mm,
Like, I don't
yeah, yeah. I mean, long story short, don't get into tabletop gaming.
know. Don't do it. Fuck.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, we'll blow over that one.
Yep. Okay. Next. I mean,
Yeah.
we've talked about, obviously stuff that we have been doing, but we're now almost, no, not almost. We are over 10 days into a new year. I can
Hmm.
count, and with New Year as a nerd brings new things to be excited for. So let's look at that for a bit.
Hmm.
Could be anything really. Just what are you excited for in this year? It could be something as mundane as I want to build an ant hill. I don't know.
I don't think I'd ever do that. Uh,
Somehow I didn't think so.
yeah. Um. Uh. First things first. Magic the Gathering. Um. February 5th. I'll say it again. February 5th.
That
It's
is
like less than a month away.
coming up fast.
Yeah, man.
It's terrifying.
We've got like, I've got 2 weeks to wait, and then I'll purchase it. I'll pre-order, and then after that, I've got about a week to wait
Mm.
for it to be delivered, because they actually deliver on February 5th. They
Oh,
dispatch it on the 4th, so that by the delivery time takes, so that you have it on release day.
yeah.
At least that was the case on a different website. I don't know if that's the same universally for just buying that product, but
Mm.
we shall see.
Don't know.
I'm not really too worried about like release day shit because I'm not competitive. Like it
No.
doesn't matter to me.
Yeah.
Like I've bought the stuff. It's in a box somewhere on the way to me. Doesn't matter whether it's there a day early or not.
Yeah.
So that's coming. Kaldheim, they fucking confirmed it. Your boy Tibble is coming back, and I am fucking hyped because he's basically impersonating a like Loki character.
Yeah.
Like not Loki himself, but someone that's kind of like Loki. Like
Yeah.
he's being all deceiving and evil and just fucking hilarious. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I might finally get some new lore for my D&D character that's based on him. And the thing is, like, Tibble is a planeswalker, and in D&D, uh, not really spoilers because we're not really going back there or anything, but
No.
Tibble in our Waterdeep campaign that we had, he was a planeswalker. Like
Yeah.
he could just come and go as whenever he wants. And in the Wanderers, he's also still kind of a planeswalker, but he's been downscaled to actually
Yeah.
work as a player character. Because you can't just give a character at like level 5 a fucking planes amulet which allows them to just go to a random plane of their desire, that
Yeah.
just completely derails a campaign instantly. But in terms of making him a NPC, there's some stuff that might be happening. So that's what I'm gonna say.
So he's going to be showing up in Terror, then, is what I'm. Yeah.
I can neither confirm nor deny it.
Yes. Sure. Right.
I-
Say no more.
I'll let you guys kind of decide on that and
Say no
figure
more.
figure some stuff out. But yeah, looking forward to Magic the Gathering. Gonna be ripping open like fucking 30 packs of those.
Oh yeah, that's if you can get back to the flat for that. That's absolutely going to be a video.
Yeah, I mean, it. If I can, of course I will. But also at the same time, Sophie is thinking about buying some off me or like trading some off
Yeah.
me
Fair.
because she wants to build a Valkyrie deck. And if there's like any Valkyries and stuff that I decide that I don't want, they'll be going to her.
Yeah.
But
Fair.
by all means, I'm happy to share with you. We can maybe trade. I can maybe just sell you like a pack or whatever. I don't know. Because it's literally a retailer's box that I'm buying.
I mean, Christ, I'm probably going to buy some stuff for it because,
Mm.
you know, it's MTG.
Yeah.
And it does look cool.
It
And
does.
some of the stuff got announced by Amon Amarth, which is just, I'm just like,
Yeah.
yes.
I watched the live show and I don't know who the band was, but I couldn't fucking understand their lead singer.
They're German. German Viking metal. It's great.
And they were just like doing their screamo shit, and I'm like, what's he saying? What? And I'm here with my Muse t-shirt, which is like completely different.
I mean, Matt Bellamy's just a fucking
Yeah, he screams, but in a completely different way.
like, oof, that man, local fucking legend.
Yeah.
I will always rub that in.
So Magic the Gathering is. I'm thinking Kaldheim's got quite a lot of metas that are going to be coming out of it because they've got like 6 or 7 different like categories coming from it and like mechanics and stuff. So the odds are in the boxes that I get, I'm probably going to be able to just say, here, you can just have these because I'm all about this. Yeah.
Yeah, you've got your fucking Like, I haven't looked into it too much, but just some of the art alone, I'm just like, yes, I'm there for it.
I don't. We might have to make this a separate video about Magic the Gathering, like another day. But
Yeah,
I
that'd be
got I got loads to talk about and complain and update and stuff like about
good.
that.
Yeah,
But yeah, looking forward to MCG. Looking forward to running Terror in the next month or two,
I'm
maybe.
hyped for that.
Depends on how soon enough my remaining players can actually sort out their backstories, because I'm pretty much just waiting on them
Yeah.
to be able to run their solo sessions
My new
and then start.
traumatized child.
Yeah, no spoilers. No one's allowed to know anything.
No,
Like,
no,
don't
no.
fucking say anything.
I went into this. I was like, "Yay, new character!" For once, I'm not gonna make them traumatized, and you're just like, "Okay."
I just ran with it.
And just like, you broke my baby.
Yeah, I took something that you didn't mean, and then I was like, oh yeah, that sounds kind of
You
cool.
broke my baby, and I love you for it. Because I love breaking my characters, but I was just like, I'm gonna do something different this time. She's gonna be not happy, but just getting on. And you were like, no. Happiness? No. Fuck off.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, that's kind of the point of the campaign, though, is like you guys start off as like clean slates, and then you find your own little things and stuff as you go.
Yeah.
Like I just, I really hate the idea of a level 1 character starting in a campaign and they just fucking know everything, and
Yeah.
they're like they're either old and they're new at adventuring, or like they're just fucking successful at everything. Like it just does not
Yeah.
make sense.
Yeah. It's like, what's going on here?
Yeah. Um, I'm sure loads of people don't agree with that. That's just my personal way of D&D storytelling and it making
Yeah.
sense in my head. But yeah, looking forward to running that. Looking forward to all of the content and stuff that we've got lined up for the channel. D&D is one of those things.
Yep. That's gonna be fun.
And
That's gonna be a bitch to edit, by the way.
yeah, it will be, but with patience,
Yeah.
it's going to happen. I won't be running that session until I'm back at the flat, because I'm going to need to record stuff on my end.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to need maybe a couple other people to record as well. And that's my editing suite. So I'm not doing it on this.
No. It's
gonna
the
be the worst.
shitty little.
Yeah, worst idea ever. But yeah, looking forward to that. Looking forward to playing Cyberpunk, because,
Yeah.
like, I think we can probably argue about it, but I think I was probably more excited for Cyberpunk than you were, like, in terms of like the build up.
Yeah, I
But
guess.
I won't. I'm not going to argue with it. But you may well have been more hyped than I am, and I just not realized it. Like you know more about the RPG and stuff like that. So,
I mean, just generally, I've always been a fucking. I think it wasn't so much that I wasn't hyped for it. I was just like, more cyberpunk shit. Give it to me.
yeah.
Which I'm still like, I still need more. Because cyberpunk's just a weird fucking genre, and I love it.
Yeah, I mean, I've never really what's the term? I've never really witnessed it properly. Like Blade Runner and stuff like that, sure. But that's in a feature film
Yeah.
format that only lasts a couple hours. video game, I think I'm gonna enjoy that. Going into like all the augmentation shit, that's yeah, that's probably where I'm gonna go. Um, Valhalla as well.
Yep.
Um, I've been listening to that soundtrack, and there's been a whole bunch of interviews on Nordic Mythology podcast because, you know, Einar Selvik, who was one of the major composers for that
Yeah,
game,
he's a
was on the
regular guest, isn't he?
podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah. Among others, of course, loads of others. And then there's stuff related to it. So I'm kind of holding out on listening to the podcast, which means holding out on doing painting until I've played Valhalla, because there might be some kind of subtle spoilers or something.
That's another huge game, which, granted, I did put down for Cyberpunk, and at some point I'll probably pick it back up again.
Mm. Yeah, I mean, Assassin's Creed for me, I've played from Assassin's Creed 1 all the way up to Assassin's Creed 3, which is actually like Assassin's Creed 6 or something. Because you've
Something
got
like that.
1, 2 Brotherhood. What was the other one? It's not Unity. It's Revelations. That
Uh,
was number 4. Um,
no,
and
Assassin's
then
Creed 4 was just Black Flag.
no, I mean in terms of release
Oh, yeah, that was.
release date.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, you got 1, 2, Brotherhood, Revelations, then 3.
Mm.
I'm pretty sure, and then you've got Black Flag, and then like Unity and all that other trash.
I mean, there was a PSP Assassin's Creed as well, which was interesting.
I'll just forget about that. It doesn't exist.
I love that game.
It's not a console and like PC release. It don't count.
Yeah, fair.
um, but yeah, I'm looking forward to playing that. And the thing is, like that recipe, if it's anything like the old school Assassin's Creeds, I'll be able to do that in like a couple weeks, easy. And the thing is, I do side quests first. I always do side quests first, then I do main story, and I can do that in a couple of weeks. No effort, because playing Shadow of Mordor and stuff like that is pretty much the exact same recipe, just the fact that they have new mechanics in there and stuff like that. Like, man, I can tell you right now, my strat is literally like go to all the towers, then in each of those areas where you find all the new stuff, find all of those new things that are in that area, move on to the next area, do that. Then you do the next area, do all the collectibles and stuff, and the next one until you've done that map. Then you do all the side quests, and then if you unlock any extra stuff, you go clean that up, and then you do the main stuff. And then if you unlock a new map, you repeat it. Like that's just how I play them, and it is just a grind for me. But it's in a grind way that by the point that I get to the main story, I already know how to play the game, and like then I don't have to worry about difficulty or trying to learn something in the middle of a story beat, because I've already done it in the downtime in the game. And I think it also helps me to put things in a bigger perspective, because a character might refer to something in the main story that you don't have a clue what it's about, unless you do the side story and the other kind of background stuff first, because then you learn, oh wait, that's what that means. And it's kind of the same in Witcher, like they're just kind of passing comment of something, and you won't really understand what it is until you've done the side quest, but then you've lost the reference at that point. I don't know. That's just my way of playing it. I just grind it.
Yeah. To each their own, I guess.
Yeah, I like 100%, not 100%, because trying to 100% Witcher still not done. It's a fucking ball ache. But 100%ing in a way that you've done all the collectibles and quests and stuff.
Yeah.
That's how I play those games, because I like to immerse myself and like learn everything about it.
Yeah.
I'll do that in a couple weeks with Assassin's Creed first. Then I'll move on to Cyberpunk, and then I'll do the same for that. And then I'll just have a complete sensory overload.
All I'm hearing now is I need to give you a crash course on cyberpunk stuff.
No. I've got to go into this like a newborn child, because that's the way it's going to be.
You're gonna miss so many references.
I don't care. I'm gonna go in. I'm gonna do it like I do Assassin's Creed, and I'm gonna do it methodically.
All right, you fucking weirdo. Not watching Ghost in the Shell. Ugh. Ugh.
I mean, I've seen Ghost in the Shell, like the movie and stuff like that.
What, the fucking Scarlett Johansson?
Yeah. But like, I've not seen the anime or anything like that.
This podcast is over. Yeah.
Anything else in 2021?
Huh?
I mean, we're officially out of the EU, like entirely now.
Are you looking forward to that though?
No, no, of course I'm not. But what I'm saying is, I'm looking forward to something actually fucking happening.
Yeah,
like
fair.
There's been this anxiety of like, oh, are we actually going to leave the EU? And like, oh, we've had like fucking negotiations for over a year, so let's actually fucking do something.
Yeah, the government can move on to something that matters now.
Yeah, like COVID. And COVID, looking forward to the potential that COVID can get fixed in 2021.
Yeah.
So chances of that are quite slim.
I mean, the vaccine's out now, which is all right.
Yeah, that's something that I personally struggle with. It's not that I don't support vaccines. I do support vaccines. Like, fucking vaccinate your children and shit.
Yeah.
I personally have a severe like phobia of needles. So the idea of getting vaccinated myself is literally my worst nightmare. And I will most likely do it at some point, but I'm not going to rush it.
No.
I'd much rather just avoid all human contact possible.
Fair.
like
I haven't seen a couple shots of that needle. That is a meaty thing. It's like,
yeah, let's not go there.
No. Keep that shit away from me until it's my time.
Yeah, exactly. Fucking the potential that okay, I'm gonna go there.
Oh no.
So I'm looking forward to the potential that Trump gets recompense for all of his fuckery that he's been doing.
Yeah, I mean, it seems to be there's a lot of shit going on like that at the moment. I mean, it's only just the start, but Twitter have finally gone, no, your bullshit is done.
Yeah, and that's because he's no longer president.
No,
like while he was president, he could say whatever he wanted because he's president, which is fucking stupid, I should say.
Yeah,
that should not be like a privilege that a president should have. Yeah. They should not just be able to say whatever the fuck they want and get away with it.
I mean, the thing is, technically they shouldn't. The issue is because the fucker was almost fucking impeached, almost this time last year. But because obviously he's got his fucking party backing him, the majority said, nah, he's all right. It's like, no,
Yeah.
the fucker, no, just fuck off. You weird orange fucking gremlin cunt.
Oh, so Sophie was watching a TikTok that was it was someone doing like a old lady answers the phone line type thing to Trump, and it was just fucking perfect. It's like it's if I can find it, I'll send it to you, or Sophie can send it to you. But it's basically like she goes along this whole like polite insult thing, and it includes calling him a what's it. And then she says, "Oh, a what's it? Oh, it's like a British Cheeto." And it's brilliant. I love it.
That's lovely. I love it. Yeah.
But there's other things related to Trump where it's like, well, he's been avoiding tax for God knows how many years.
I mean, he was doing that before he was president.
Yeah, but
'Cause
now
he's
it's been
rich
highlighted
twat.
more. It's been
Yeah. Oh,
highlighted
yeah.
more publicly and stuff like that. And now that he is on the chopping block, I hope to God that he can just get absolutely like his
Yeah.
ass sued out of him, because like the amount of like money that's going to come out of that can actually go to a good cause is just insane. Like this guy's just been avoiding tax for like 50 years or however fucking long.
I mean,
And
it's not going to go to a good cause because it's going to go straight into the American government.
true, but it's better to be into the American government than it is in Trump's pocket, in my
True.
opinion.
Yeah, fair enough.
Trump, and I'm gonna fucking say it. Trump is modern age Hitler right now, because
Oh my god.
that's fucking.
I
That's
don't know if we can
fucking.
put that in, mate. I'm gonna be honest.
You can
Yikes.
edit it out if you want, but the amount of racism that is coming from his, like, from him. He built a fucking wall.
I mean,
Okay,
I can see where, like, the point you were making, I agree with. But there's a difference between being a racist cunt and literal fucking genocide.
No, yeah, I mean, I specify by like modern age version, right? He himself is not like committing genocide, but oh wait, look, his police are killing people on the streets, and his party are literally being racist bigots and shooting people and fucking threatening and terrorizing people,
Yeah,
which
I get
is
when you.
more modern day speed. Like, terrify people to get them to submit and give in to you, then just kill them all,
Yeah.
because
I mean,
capitalism, right? If you don't have people, you don't have money.
yeah, I guess.
But the planet doesn't need those kinds of people, so perhaps
No.
something needs to change. The fact that the fact that the army didn't just roll in with a fucking tank and just be like, move. You have 10 seconds. And then just fucking blow the building up. Because that's what I would have fucking done. Punish them. They need fucking punishing.
I mean, they are.
That's the point. Yeah, but they're aren't they just fucking. They're right now, they're claiming peaceful protest in the building or something, and they're still in the building.
No.
Or something like that. That's what I've kind of got the impression of.
Like, several people have been arrested, and because we live in this age of every cunt's got a video camera on them, they're actually saying more people are being arrested now because of the videos than would have been arrested if there was no video. Because it's just like, all right, cool. We have your fucking mug on screen, mate. Goodbye.
Yeah. Especially whoever's that dude with the fucking Viking tattoos and shit.
Yes,
Like,
those
oh my
Nordic
fucking God.
tattoos. That made me fucking sad
Yeah.
seeing that.
and this happens to be like a month after I get my fucking Rido tattoo.
Yeah,
And I'm like,
yeah.
great.
Great. Like,
No,
again, it's one of those things that bugs me about Norse mythology. Norse paganism is still a practiced religion. It is
yep.
still a thing that people practice. And
Hmm.
these cunts going around with all sorts on their chest, like, oh, this looks cool. Like, no,
Yeah.
no,
And
I wouldn't go around with a fucking crucifix on me because I don't believe in that shit. And
mm,
if someone saw me with that, I would fully expect them to be offended by it.
hmm.
And it's like, oh,
Yeah.
no one knows that they practice. It's like, fuck off.
Yeah. And I think the main thing is um people aren't what they seem, and don't read a book by its cover,
Mm,
right? Because um I was watching another TikTok earlier with Sophie, and it was this dude just stumbles across a bag in the middle of nowhere, and he opens it up, and there's a puppy in it.
mm,
And then he's in the car with the puppy, and then you look at him, and he's absolutely covered in tattoos.
yeah,
And then it's like, so if you go by that rule of association, then oh, that dude could, not saying that he is, could well be the type that is the type to riot at the building, right?
mm,
Um, which I am not supporting. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that anyone that looks like a certain way is therefore in a certain category, because they're
yeah,
not. But that's the way that people react,
yeah,
and it's fucking annoying.
yeah,
It's like you see, and I think it's because it's the animalistic instinct of, oh, we recognize that flower is red, therefore all oh, and then Jerry that ate that red flower is dead, so therefore do not eat red flowers.
yeah,
Like there's that kind of instinct of, oh, that cunt's got a fucking Norse tattoo on him, whatever it might be,
mm,
and he goes around shooting up a place and then
yeah,
terrorizing
yeah.
people. Therefore, everyone that looks like that must be like
It's
that,
the same. Yeah,
which is but it's not. That's like it's a different kind of racism,
mm,
which is an innate thing in humans, which is fucking annoying. That
yeah,
it's got to be something that is going to take at least another 1,000 years for us to actually conquer.
mm.
Like, I very much doubt that by the year 3000 we will have that kind of prejudice sorted.
Oh no.
But we can at least try. We can at least try to
Mm.
weed it out and stuff like that.
I think
Um, go on.
while there's people doing shit that makes other people uncomfortable, there's gonna be that sort of prejudice, unfortunately.
Hmm.
So I don't think it's ever gonna go away. It's just I think we need to deal with it in a more human way.
Yeah.
You know?
And part of me is curious if that man or men or women or whatever, if they were all black, what would have happened?
I think
Probably quite a lot more severe
yeah,
of a should have think
yeah,
over there. Which is, it's fucking disgusting. Like, I'm just fed up, just fucking fed up of it, you know?
yeah,
Like, everyone needs to be treated equal,
mm,
no matter of, you know, who they are, what they look like. what they are. So it should always be about what they've done
Yeah.
or what they are doing,
Mm.
because you have a black man that's a rapist and then a white man that's a rapist. The white man will get less trouble or
Yeah,
whatever.
they're gonna get different fucking punishments.
Yeah, and or it could be like a fucking Satan worshipper and a Christian or
Yeah.
whatever,
Yeah.
but they do the exact same thing. And
Yeah.
just because whoever it is that's making that decision is aligned in a certain way, that affects their decision.
Mm.
Um, which I guess you could take it further and just say, oh, fucking crime and everything should be organized by an AI or something fucking weird. But then that just fucking gets weird and Black Mirror.
I've fucking seen Psychopaths, another cyberpunk anime that I want you to watch. And that's not a good way to do things. No.
Yeah. Yeah, so you can't do that. But you have to get someone that's fucking sensible
Yeah.
in power. But that's impossible all in and of itself. So
Yeah.
I'm just tired of it. Like, and it's even here, like, um, with the whole Boris thing. Like,
Mm.
Boris, Boris is not the worst that we've had, but he is down there
Mm.
significantly,
Yeah.
and that's mainly because he's a doddering idiot.
Yeah. I think
Um,
that's the worst thing about him. He's a fucking
yeah,
idiot.
yeah, um, and I think there's fear in it
Mm.
as well.
Yeah.
Like, me personally, I've always said I would be the person to make a tough decision in the situation that needed it. Like, um, fucking hypothetical,
Mm.
zombie apocalypse scenario. Someone gets bitten. Well, okay, you've got 5 minutes. Time starts now. Say goodbyes. Fucking point a gun to the head and wait. Like,
Hmm.
I don't fucking care if
I
you're
mean,
gonna put if that one person is gonna put 10 more people or however many more people at risk, that person deserves to be dead, right?
hmm.
Or, be weaned out, which is the whole point of fucking the many outweigh the needs of the few.
Yeah.
But people with power are always the people that are in the few.
Yeah.
But it don't fucking work. I'm not by any means any expert or qualified to, say any of this stuff. That's just how I feel. But
I was gonna say this
I,
is a fucking. We're a bunch of fucking white nerds
yeah,
with creative arts degrees.
yeah. Uh, I just, I don't know, man. Like knowing what's right and what's wrong,
Mm.
and then seeing all that wrong that's happening on the world, and
Yeah.
being helpless to do anything about it.
Yeah.
Like the if you do anything that is past quiet, you get ignored.
Yeah.
But if you do anything that is quiet, you get ignored anyway because you don't get heard.
Mm.
So that's why, people that the people that raided
Yeah.
the Capitol building, that's why they did that, because
Mm.
they can be noisy as fuck and make it public and be heard.
Yeah.
Um, which is that's just a problem in society, is the fact that being heard is really difficult
It's allowed
peacefully.
fuckers that get noticed. Yeah.
Yeah, like if we wanted change in this country legally, all we're allowed to do is peacefully protest and petition.
Yeah.
That's it. Write some letters maybe, but those letters won't be opened,
No.
so good luck. But then the petitions uh, for refunding university students for 2020 got ignored, even
Yeah.
though it reached its petition requirements.
Yeah, of course it did.
And it's like, hello,
Yeah.
hello. Yeah, you're gonna make me keep this debt just because you need money. No, like, where's mine
Yeah.
and everyone else's? Like, all those thousands and hundreds of thousands of students that just have debt for no reason for an additional year.
Yeah.
It's fucking stupid.
It's that weird thing of students didn't get a mention until the new academic year started. And then when
Mhm.
they did get mentioned, it was students are rioting because they can't fucking. Because they're being told they need to pay rent and stay where they are, even though. Which I do understand. You've moved to a place and lockdown is now in effect.
Mhm.
You're not allowed to leave. That sucks. But hold off on the rent. If you're
Yeah,
being told you are not allowed to move from where you are, it's like,
you're homeless at that point.
yeah,
You're literally homeless, which means if you're
nope,
that is shelter.
mm,
Oh, okay, we're back.
yep, yeah, yeah,
um, legally at that point, if you're in shelter but you're homeless, technically, the
mm,
government is forced to pay for your shelter
yeah,
because that's what they're there for. Like, but they don't give a shit. It's like, oh no, we'll sort it later.
yeah.
Like
When's
that's
when's
their current
later?
mindset. Yeah, yeah. When is later? Is that in a week or is that in 2 years when coronavirus has been extinguished or whatever?
Yeah, it's just.
Like,
I mean, it's even just like our fucking graduation. It's like, when is that gonna happen? Ravensbourne, I'm fucking name dropping you cunts.
the thing is though, right? The thing is, graduation itself is a pointless affair.
Yeah, I guess.
We've got our
Yeah,
certificates. The whole point of graduation is just a public like thing where you receive your certificate from someone.
mm,
But we've already got
yeah,
ours, so we
true.
don't fucking need it.
I think it's also for me the fact of I don't know if you had it or you were in your especially the last like fucking semester of uni. I will keep in touch with you. We'll catch up and see how you're doing.
Mm.
I had one email saying, "Hey, how's it going? Here's a job you might be interested in." And I don't even think that was just from a lecturer. That wasn't like, "Hey, this is an official how you doing? Here's you know
Mm.
a catch up from the uni to me." It was a lecturer going, "I've had this job through. This could be interesting to you."
Yeah, I've not had any. Well, at least I don't think I have. I've not really paid attention because I've just kind of left them in the wind.
Yeah.
But I don't think I've had anything from the uni themselves. It's
Mm.
always been like, oh, there's work from through the lecturer and stuff.
Yeah.
But it's also like, so you're sending us jobs, like where you can, but um, Creative Cloud subscription.
Yeah.
So okay, you're sending us jobs, but we don't have the tools to do that work. So
Mm.
and we can't just get like another job somewhere else. Like I can't just get a runner job which happens to have the bonus of giving me Creative Cloud because that just doesn't happen.
That's just
And
it.
especially in this kind of climate, I am not going outside.
No. It's like,
Like so now I just have to, use DaVinci instead and not be able to use any of Creative Cloud.
yeah.
But
It's like even
um,
at the very least some kind of like discount. It's like, hey, you're a
mm,
graduate, have like a 20% discount or something because
they
it.
they should have just extended it.
Yeah,
They
they
should
should.
have just extended it indefinitely until um, until things were actually stable. Because
Mm,
as much as I understand, we had our peak and then we went down into a trough a little bit. And then they were like, okay, then we hit the button but then they hit the button when we're going back into a increase again.
Yeah.
So it's like, the fuck am I meant to do?
Yeah. It's like,
Like, you're expecting me to be completely self-sustainable with no money, no job,
mm,
and no resources to help me actually get a job.
yeah.
I
Yeah,
might
that's
as well
just
be
it.
in the wilderness somewhere with a spear
Yeah.
at that point.
Like, they want their fucking graduates to be getting, like, jobs within their industry within 6 months. Well, that's obviously not happened for either of us.
Yeah.
And I don't think you'll mind us saying this, but nor has Sam, nor has really
Hmm.
any other fucker I know who graduated in 2020.
Yeah, and
I think,
even if you do get a job, then it's
mm,
like, well, it's going to be a remote job, and then it's going to be like not really like a proper job
yeah,
in this kind of line of work, because the, the main kind of jobs that you might be able to get in our industry are freelance.
yeah. Like, I know a couple people who were on my course who were doing freelance stuff, and good on them. Like, I am proper chuffed that they've managed to get that work, but then for us to do freelance work, you need the kit.
Yeah, and you need that sustainability. You need that reliability of that constant work. But
Yeah,
freelance doesn't give you that, especially when you're a graduate.
no,
That's why, like literally, one of our lecturers is an award-winning cinematographer and everything else,
mm,
but he part-time teaches and then part-time does work for like the BBC and stuff.
yeah,
So like it's not reliable, and then you just take out our ability to actually create portfolio stuff. Like,
yeah. And it's like,
um, it's just maddening.
yeah, I think
I'm
that's
trying to actually get myself up and motivated to fix up my website and fix up a show reel and stuff like that.
yeah.
Well, can't do that now.
No, it's like,
Everything's in fucking Premiere documents and everything
yeah,
else,
yeah.
and
It's
now
like,
I can't use it.
I remember when I went to edit something on Premiere, and it's like, hey, your account has been terminated. I was like,
Yeah. And then they only give you 24 hours. Oh no, it's like one activation. Like what the moment that you open that, it says this is your last chance to use this program. Make sure that
mm,
you export and do everything that you need to now. Well, that don't help,
no,
because well, one, what if the program crashes, which if it's Premiere or After Effects, it will.
yeah,
Then it's also, well, I'm away from my fucking editing suite where all of my data is.
mm,
Thanks. Fucking, you want me to pack all that stuff up when I'm not there?
yeah. It's like,
Yeah, it's fucking annoying, man.
yeah,
Like, I would happily fucking slap a bitch for just being like, no, or
yeah,
like, what's the thing where like, you rolled up newspaper? Like, no,
yeah.
just no.
Like, it's just why?
Yeah. People are fucked up,
That was one hell
and
of a tangent.
it was. I don't even remember where we originated from. I think it was because I was talking about the not Citadel, fucking Citadel. Yeah, that's D&D getting into my head. Go on, get up. Um, you know what I mean? The fucking American shit that's going on.
I think so.
Um,
But we were
yeah,
talking about what we were looking forward to in 2021, and then
yeah,
it's just like,
yeah, because I was like, oh yeah, that was it. I was like, oh yeah, hopefully Trump can get put in
yeah,
prison. That was what
yeah,
I was getting to.
mm,
I want that man in
like the real
prison.
life shit sorted out, which
Yeah,
I fully understand, but that's not what this podcast is about.
No, yeah, true.
So I don't know what I'm going to do with this, because on one hand, it was a really interesting conversation, and I think it's stuff that people should be talking about. On the other, that's not what this is about. I think I'll keep it in, even if it does get us a lot of shit, because I think it will get us a lot of shit.
I mean, you can just cut in places,
Yeah.
or like bleep some bits out.
Just your whole rant's just a
Yeah.
fucking flat tone.
Yeah, I understand it's controversial, but it's honest.
Yeah, yeah.
And I don't think it's immoral or wrong or anything like that. I think the fuck was that?
I should not be brandishing a knife.
No, you shouldn't be.
It's just here, and I'm just like, yep.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know anymore.
No.
It's so hard. Like the last week or so, I've just been so undirected
Yeah.
and like aimless. Like I don't know what to do or like what to focus on. I'm
Yeah, it's like
confused. Like there are things that I can do, like read a book, write D&D, all that, but it's just like, isn't there meant to be something like more meaningful that I'm meant to be doing, like pursuing a career right now? So I'm like, oh, I guess I can't really do that. So
yeah,
I don't know.
and it's like,
Yeah. But yes, what are you looking forward to in 2021, Scott?
Jesus. Oh, I knew this was gonna happen. Anyway, yeah. A lot of the stuff that you've already mentioned, like MTG, I'm massively hyped for your D&D campaign. Just generally more role playing in my life. Just I love it. I need more of it. 2021. I'm looking forward to having conversations with people in person again. As far as video games, I can't really think of anything off the top of my head actually that I'm looking forward to.
Wait, I don't know if it's this year, but fucking God of War 2.
Yes, that's coming out. I think it's supposed to be 2021, maybe.
I think it is. It's just that they've not released any trailers or anything. It's just a teaser.
Yeah, it's not a solid date. So yeah, there's that.
That's gonna be the shit.
I still need
2021 is gonna be the year of the Vikings, son. We've got Kaldheim, we've got Assassin's Creed Valhalla, we've got Vikings that is finished, we got fucking God of War. Oh man. Oh yeah, and then there's the whole thing with the fucking Raiders, but we'll ignore that. Brush that under the rug, please.
You are not Vikings, be gone.
Yeah. No, you're just fucking racist.
Yeah.
Sorry, yeah, as you were.
Oh yeah, there's a new Shaman King anime coming out this year. I think April, I want to say. And that shit was my childhood. That was a solid show that went way underrated. And I can't wait to see how badly they fuck it up. Because all I've seen is one trailer. And I'm like, yep, okay. Interesting that you're deciding to do... Like, I guess it was kind of popular, but it wasn't massive. You know, people knew about it, but it was like, oh yeah, that's a thing. Okay. So it's interesting that they're deciding to do it now. So, you know,
Yeah.
Let's try to think what else really. TV. Don't watch like much like major TV. I mean, I've been watching. Annoyingly, a lot of the shit that I have been watching is getting cancelled. Like Altered Carbon was great, cancelled. Like, why?
Oh shit!
I need my
I enjoyed that
cyberpunk
show.
shit.
Yeah.
Um, I think that's a lot of most of what I've been enjoying like the last year or so has been sort of modern warfare stuff. I've been watching fucking what's it called? Fuck me. Um, nope, it's completely gone from my head. I've been watching a lot of cyberpunk stuff in the lead up and following fucking 2077 because that's been so much fun.
Mm.
And the cyberpunk sort of genre is just a weird one in general, and it's just like, what is going on with this?
Mm-hmm.
Just if you want to feel uncomfortable with some of the questions that get raised, it's a good genre for that. It's like, oh, this is a bit fucking close to home, and it's
Mm-hmm.
probably maybe gonna happen in the next lifetime or so. Like,
Oof.
okay, not sure how I feel about robots measuring my mental health to see how likely I am to become a criminal. No, don't like it. Can you not? Because
Yeah.
by that logic, yeah, I'm already a serial killer. My mental health's great. um, so yeah, um, just more tabletop stuff, really.
Mm. Yeah, I guess tabletop for me as well,
Yeah,
actually. Like um I wanna get a couple extra Warhammer things maybe later on in the year.
mm,
And Infinity stuff.
yeah. It's
Um
just sort of like,
once we're back and it's back and in action
mm,
and we've sorted the channel out a bit.
mm.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
And I think that's another thing I'm looking forward to in 2021. Even if we do find out we've bitten off more than we can chew, we've got some dumb ideas written
Mm,
down. It's just like, is this going to be funny once we've filmed it and put it out there? Maybe,
yeah. Yeah, I
maybe
mean,
not.
but we've got a lot of pre-production to do, like
Yeah.
writing and stuff like that. But
Mm.
once we're sorted with what we need to catch up on, then we
Yeah.
can start talking about that stuff because like it's just it's speculation at this point
Yeah.
or like rumors. It's not even concepted yet.
Yeah. It's just, we've got these ideas of shit we want to do, and maybe we'll do them.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah. Ah, man.
Yeah.
So excited for new stuff
Yeah.
for the channel. Um, I'm not sure it's gonna mean anything, but I just want to do like a couple little shout outs
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
other content creators.
Yeah.
Um, so first off, shout out to Critical Role and everyone on the crew, not just Matt Mercer, because yes, Matt Mercer is DM and like
He's a
face
gorgeous
of
human
it.
being.
Yeah, but as much as he is those things, that show would not be anything without everyone else,
Oh no.
including everyone else off stage. Like, thank you to all of you.
Mm.
You're a massive inspiration. And also, Fables of Refuge. I don't watch you nearly as much as I should because I think I've been spoilt by Critical Role. But like your stuff is still an inspiration. And Carmichael, fucking love you. Um, um, and the two of you are going to be very heavy inspirations for our D&D show that's going to be coming out hopefully before March,
Yeah,
I want to say.
hopefully.
But you're going to be the main inspiration for that. And yeah, our thing is not going to be nearly to the standard of you guys. But if we can at least get any bit of the quality that you guys have, I will be happy. Also, just connected to Carmichael, Corridor Crew and Corridor Digital and Node,
Yeah.
all those. Shout out to you guys. Fucking big inspirations for me getting into feature film and stuff. You keep me on that track, that motivation, like that. Keep my eyes on the prize. Like that's what I want to achieve. And Rooster Teeth, like I'm not really big into Rooster Teeth, but the structure that you guys have and like the family that you guys have, I really appreciate. And that's what I aim to have our channel adapt into
Yeah.
is more of a network than a channel. But whether that happens or not is, you know, completely me just pissing into the wind and hoping that I
At the
don't get
moment.
sprayed in the face.
Yeah.
Who else? I can't think of anyone else immediately, but man, yeah, shout out to anyone that is subscribed to this channel.
Yeah. Those that are just fucking, you're incredible. What are you doing with your lives?
Shout out to anyone that collaborates with us, specifically Daniel, who's going to be working on the music for the D&D stuff, and hopefully some more stuff.
Yeah.
But we'll come back to that hopefully another time once the D&D stuff's been sorted out, because it's more of we'll wait and see how it goes with that for now.
Like if that pans out, we'll probably do a whole video just going, hey, here's the music that you've been hearing.
Yeah, and then we can literally just do like a brief little video or something about it. Yeah, we got that. I don't know what else or who else to shout out. Shout out to Sophie, who's sat there, because oh yeah, fucking so proud of her. She is managing to engage with Horns of Odin and Nordic mythology podcast and people connected to that.
Yeah.
Literally just through a whim, she decided to make a little comic based on the podcast.
Saw that, and that was.
And it's got some attention, and there's a bit of dialogue going on there. So
oh shit!
Super proud of her for that, and I hope everything pans out. And yeah, just shout out to Nordic mythology podcast and Einar Selvik, fucking, and everyone else. Like, I fucking love you. Like, you guys, you got your heads screwed on straight, and you are the people that should be representing like this culture. And I'm so proud to have you guys like in my life, even if it's just like through a podcast. It's fucking amazing. Like you guys have helped me get into and learn more about Norse culture through the past few years. And if you guys weren't there, I probably would have never picked it up, let alone get a fucking tattoo. Being a needle phobic,
yeah,
and actually getting a tattoo that's Norse, like that's what drives me. It was that connection, that spiritual connection of this tattoo means something, and it's not just a fucking R.
Yeah.
it it's a rune and it's a symbol and it has meanings like beyond just a letter or beyond a single word. It means, you know, far more than that to me personally as well, because life's a bitch. So that tattoo kind of helps me whenever I see it. Like I'm in the shower and I see it, I'm like, oh, okay, I should probably fucking do something with my life today.
Yeah.
um, but yeah, shout out to all you guys. Shout out to all of the other content creators. Shout out to Viva la Dirt League. Um, I understand your guys' videos have slowed down a bit due to COVID, but like,
Given that they do a lot of stuff outside, that's understandable.
well, yeah, outside and with other people on
Yeah.
a set. So it's
Yeah.
like if one of them catches COVID strain or
Yeah,
whatever,
you've got to
then
be
it's yeah. I mean,
careful
and
with that.
I think correct me if I'm wrong, but I think they're from New Zealand, but um,
Yeah.
it's COVID isn't quite as bad over there, so
Mm.
I don't know. But I fucking love your skits, Viva the Dirt League, and you are going to be a big inspiration for our content in the future.
Hopefully this year. Hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully this year. Um, um, and we'll do it in a separate video, but it's not really a shout out. Um, Patreon might be a thing soon.
Maybe. I mean,
We don't really know at this point
mm,
where it's going to be going
no.
because it's kind of like, well, we've not got the views and stuff
Yeah.
that we kind of need to make that worthwhile, but
It's
also
there
at the
when we
same
get there.
time, yeah, if it's there, it's there, and then people can come in as and when they want to. Yeah, there's that, I guess. Yeah, I don't know. Shout out to you, Scott.
Shout out to you, I guess. I'm just thinking of
Yeah.
people to shout out, and it's like, thinking like all the inspirations that I've had over the last God knows how many years I've kind of wanted to do this. At least recently, big inspiration for me has been channels like Outside Xbox and Outside Extra, even though their stuff is a lot more planned and scripted. I think, having met them a few times now, they're just lovely people, and I was like, yeah, these guys are just chill, down to earth people who just are talking about their, what they want to talk about, and just decided, fuck it, let's do that. As far as podcasts go, I have been listening to a lot of Trash Taste lately, which is an anime podcast by two British guys and one Australian who live in Japan, and it's a fucking clusterfuck. Which, yeah. But it's great because it's sort of like, I don't engage with a huge amount of anime stuff outside of just watching it, and I was like, yeah, fuck it, I'll watch this. And it's been fun, and I do want to do more stuff around anime on this channel because that seems to be at the moment our top rated fucking video, and it's just like, okay, I guess. So more reactions will be coming, whether you like it or not, because I think there's like 2 dislikes on that video, and I was like, okay.
I mean, yeah, percentage wise, that's like 0.2 or
Yeah.
something.
And it's like, okay, that's interesting.
Yeah.
So yeah, more anime stuff.
I'll
I
be
think
happy to join in on that.
because I mentioned ghost stories on the Discord, which we also have. We also have a Discord. Come say hi to us.
Mhm.
So I think that could be an interesting video to do.
Mhm.
So yeah, basically, I think just by going, hey, these are the people we want to shout out because they've inspired us is probably an idea of what we want to do with the channel going forward.
Yeah.
Because especially in the short term, because
Mhm.
yeah,
Yeah, we got a lot of work to do.
oh yeah,
Um,
oh yeah, and I think going forward, we've had our good 2 or 3 months of several uploads a week. I think what we need to do now is because we're not expanding anymore. We've got our core viewer base. I think what we now
mhm.
need to do now is 1 or 2 videos a week that are written, maybe not written, but they're not just gameplay. I think people seem to like our faces for some reason. I don't know why.
Sure.
So
I
more
think
stuff with our faces on.
I think that's the whole YouTube thing, though, right?
Yeah,
Is that's how the algorithm works? Like, you post a picture of your face going,
yeah, yeah.
then it immediately gets like a bajillion times more views. But
That's just it. That's just it.
hey, you can use that as a thumbnail if you want.
It's just,
Yeah,
I mean, I'd say I'd do it, but it's just gonna be this shady looking whatever this. It's just
yeah, it's a silhouette. Yeah.
yeah. Just again that weird winter shit. 'Cause it's like
Mm.
looking at the time now, it's 5:30, and it's just like
It feels like it's 9 o'clock, doesn't it?
yeah, yeah. I mean, I can feel myself losing my voice as well. I'm just like
Same.
I'm
That's
not
why
used
I've
to
been
talking.
nursing this bottle.
Not used to talking this much, but I've enjoyed it. So
Yeah.
don't know if it'll be a weekly thing, but maybe fortnightly.
Yeah.
I know that word
Um.
has been somewhat spoiled by a certain popular game, but it is a word that the British have been using for
Oh,
centuries.
I mean, yeah, it's different spelling, but yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I don't even know where that fucking spelling came from. It's like, okay, British.
Because they were like the Yeezy kids, like the
Yeah,
oh,
yeah,
we're the Fortnite kids. We're the little scroats that don't have a fucking life, so we're going to put all of our money into microtransactions through our mum's wallet, and we're gonna fucking own it.
yeah.
And
Well,
we're gonna do the fucking. Oh, it's the Gangnam Style kids, right?
yeah.
Gangnam Style came first, I think,
Mm.
and then it's like, oh, then we're gonna do the floss, and then, like all that other shit. Fucking, ugh,
Kids,
yeah, disgusting. Who wants
stay
rain?
home. Stay home
Yeah,
because COVID and shit. Talking to you,
yeah.
you assholes, in the school that is still open.
It's still open.
Yes,
I thought they completely closed all the
that's
schools.
what I thought, but I heard them earlier, and I was like, I thought you meant to be closed.
Fuck. Ugh.
Unless I was hallucinating,
I guess
which
that's also an option.
I won't be surprised at this point if I'm starting to get fucking cabin fever.
Yeah.
I swore someone knocked on my door the other day. I was like, what the fuck? Oh shit, no one's here.
Yeah.
Back to bed, nothing happened.
Ooh.
Like I have been hearing shit, and I'm just putting it down to I'm on my own, and I don't want to be.
I think that might just be you, because I
Yeah,
don't hear that shit when I'm there on my own.
I mean that's just it. It's only like the last couple weeks that I've been hearing weird shit,
Yeah.
and it's just like
Oh,
okay,
there was something that I heard that was weird
mm,
that I couldn't source until I did source it, and that was a pigeon on our balcony.
yeah,
Two pigeons that had the habit of like climbing on the balcony and making a whole shit ton of noise.
mm,
And then like I kind of did the whole thing where you kind of go like this. You kind of go around the corner without trying to be seen by the pigeon or whatever the source of the noise is. And then the two pigeons just turn around like at me and then just fucking fly away.
It was like, oh shit, we've been made.
Yeah. It was like two little vandals had just been caught, and then I've never seen them again.
Pigeons are great. Love
Yeah.
pigeons. Little sods.
Right.
Anyway.
Anything
yeah.
else? Anything else, or is that it?
No,
Are we at the end?
I think we've been talking for a good while now.
Yeah, like 2.5 hours, almost.
2 hours and 20 minutes, which is a good length, I think. So,
Yeah.
So yeah, hopefully do this again, because I have thoroughly enjoyed it. Got more to talk about. Probably do more short form stuff as well over the next few days, because gotta hug that algorithm.
Yeah, I mean, okay, I've got a quick little one that we can do, and that is just a quick little discussion about magic.
Yeah.
Just go through that, and then if you're up for it, we can go through some of the Star Wars reveals.
Yeah.
I've not watched them yet because I'm waiting just in case.
I have.
So. You watched them? All right.
I watched them when they came out.
Okay.
Which
I've
was
been
like
saving
a month ago now.
I'm saving it for content.
I didn't know. I mean, it was a month ago, and I've watched a lot of shit, and just like.
Yeah. I mean, I know that there's shows coming, but they released actual trailers. Was it the trailers that you've actually watched?
Yeah, because it was all. It was the investor meeting, wasn't it?
Okay.
They released a lot of shit.
Okay, we'll just ignore that then. I'll just watch it in my own time.
I mean, we could still do videos. Still.
Yeah, we can do some like. We can do some. Okay, Java.
Is it because I'm fat? Yes, is the answer to that.
No, it's because you look like a hut. Oh.
Wow.
No, I don't mean it.
Yes, you do.
What was I gonna say?
Fucking.
Oh yeah, we could just do like a Star Wars discussion.
Yeah.
So we do like a Magic the Gathering discussion, then we do a Star Wars one.
Yeah.
Star Wars one will probably be a bit longer, but
yeah.
Yeah. I'm ready to end this.
Yeah.
Janky ass initial podcast if you are.
Yeah, this was fun. Spent most of it talking about politics, but that is how podcasts often do. So yeah, thank you for watching / listening, because half of it I have looked like a confidential witness.
Yes, you have.
So yeah, next time I don't know.
Upgrade that lighting or something. Like
I just need a fucking hang on, just real quick.
Nah, that won't work. Nah, that just makes you look more sinister.
Why does that make my nose itch? That's weird. No. And I just remembered I'm a blind man. Anyway.
Yeah.
Oh dear. Yep. So catch you on the flip side, dickheads.
Yep. Thanks for watching.